Welcome to the Awakened Human Podcast, the place to be for highly progressive, yet extremely grounded intuitive guidance, energetic support, metaphysical tools, and higher consciousness for highly successful, ambitious, soul-centered visionaries and leaders like you who want to make a global impact and achieve your highest fulfillment by aligning with your soul's true divine agenda and your role in God's plan of lighted creation, and by utilizing your divine gifts, talents, and abilities from the higher realms. We do this by working with the non-physical realms of higher guidance, energy, intuition, and powerful metaphysical tools for healing and transformation. We understand that the real change and transformation that's being called for on planet Earth and in our own lives and our own businesses doesn't come from outside of us, but rather from within. And that the change that we desire to experience in our lives and in our world requires us to change from the inside. I'm your host, Lori Ann Spagna. I'm a best-selling author, spiritual catalyst, intuitive, energy worker, ascension guide, multidimensional channel, animal communicator, visionary, lightworker, and luminary. I have dedicated my entire professional life to helping thousands and thousands of humans and animals all over the world in service and contribution to the light, which is the expansion, the upliftment, the evolution of humanity, to awaken, to uplift, and to align with our true divine source, which exists within each and every one of us. It is my passion, joy, and purpose to share this information, energy, and consciousness with you. Thank you so much for being here today and for sharing time with me. Let's get started. Well, hello and blessings, beautiful souls. It's me, Lori Spagna, here with you today. I'm very happy to be with you. Very grateful to be with you. I'm recording from Rhinebeck, New York, where very recently some real miracles have happened in my life, and very grateful. I have so much to be grateful for. I can hardly believe how much I have to be grateful for and how many miraculous things have happened for me and to me and in my life in the last week. And I feel so blessed and so grateful. And I want to share some of that with you today. And I think that's my overall mission and purpose in life. The overall is to help other people receive such incredible blessings and have so many benefits happen in their lives too. So the purpose of being here is to bring forward energy and consciousness that will assist others in improving the quality of their lives and life on earth by incorporating more high vibe, high consciousness, spiritually evolved practices. I think the word spiritual tends to throw so many people off. And yet, that's just such a huge part of what I do. But when I look in the business world, because I am a solopreneur, well, an entrepreneur, however you want to put it, I have a team, but they're part-timers. When I see what's going on, everybody out there is using and applying spiritual practice, but it's somehow the word spiritual is like a no-no. Like people are so triggered by that word. Even in one of the business mentorship programs I had, I was doing I was in the hot seat and there were other people in the group, and somebody said to me, well, if you could just make it a little less spiritual. And I was like, well, that's what I do. I'm not going to couch that. If that's a problem for people, then I guess they're not really in my community. I guess if you can't handle that, but this is the thing. We've all been really wounded by religion. I don't mean to make religion bad either, but just eons of separation from our source. And most religious teachings, not all, and certainly if you break them down, there can be some incredibly helpful stuff out there, but there's just so much of it that has kind of traumatized people and caused them to be either atheists because they can't make sense of it, or they can't believe it, or they don't agree with it, or they find things that are inherently wrong with a lot of the old practices and old teachings. And not to make this about religion, but again, for some people, it's completely amazingly helpful. And then for other people, they look at a lot of those organized religions and they're just seeing what's not right or not working. And then it becomes the block to their own spiritual growth in a lot of cases, right? To me, spirituality is not about any particular, it's really a personal practice of personal growth. I don't see personal growth and personal development as separate from spiritual growth, because any path of personal growth and personal development will eventually, if you stay with it, will lead you to a spiritual path. I mean, you can't do personal growth and personal development without somehow finding a connection to a greater power than you, some kind of connection to some kind of greater or higher power. And as you start realizing that that greater or higher power is the solution in your life, like your spiritual practice becomes more and more attuned. Like that is it, really. So if you're on a path of personal development or personal growth, you're eventually going to find that you need some kind of higher or greater power. And that might be outside of the structure of organized religion, but one way or the other, you're going to find that there's no way around it. Like somehow God, source, creator, the infinite, the all that is, the I am, the divine spirit, the divine intelligence, the universe, universal intelligence, mother, father, God, whatever you call it, somehow it's going to find its way into your life because you need it for your personal growth and your personal development. You really realize that that is where the solutions lie. And these are where all the solutions are. And this is kind of the topic of today's podcast. So I digressed a bit, but the topic of today's podcast is what to do when you hit a wall. That was supposed to be the topic. But here's the thing, because as many of you know and have heard, and I've been sort of belaboring on about this, I was on a personal growth and healing journey since January of this year. I was on the road for 5 months straight, not longer than 1 week in any one Airbnb, traveling up from Florida. I went all the way up to Massachusetts, Vermont, and now I'm kind of like back in New York. Well, I guess you could call it upstate New York is what it's called here. And I'm settling here for a little while for an extended summer. It definitely turned out to be a bit of a Wizard of Oz journey. I talked about that in one of the previous episodes. No place like home. There's no place like home. But I have had a fabulous time. I visited so many places, states and cities and towns and beautiful nature, and visited state parks and lakes and waterfalls and coffee houses galore, because I love coffee house. I love working. I always used to wonder about people who would be able to spend their afternoons in coffee houses. And I always wanted to be one of them when I was in corporate America. And now I am one. A lot of times, there's no place like a coffee house where you can sit all day and work when you're on the road, right? Get some stuff done. But now I'm in Rhinebeck, the most adorable little house. Oh my God. I do kind of want to show it to you, but it's hard to do that because of the microphone is attached to the computer and it might be a little too challenging in this episode. But nonetheless, some miracles have happened. And since the last month, when I finally sort of stopped traveling, it's not even a month, it's more like 10 days. And I would like to help you because I had hit the wall. And I think a lot of people are going through real challenging times on Earth right now, where people feel like they've hit a wall or they've hit the floor or they've reached their lowest point. And I want to tell you that while I was traveling, the first 3.5 months, I was having a great time. I was healing. I was traveling, having fun, exploring. After about 3.5 months, and I want to say that when I went on the journey, I was like, okay, God, there's just things in my life that aren't really working for me. I'm not as happy and fulfilled with the work I'm doing. I haven't been quite as, I'm burnt out and tired. I had hit burnout. I talked about this in a lot of the videos that are still being edited, hopefully, and released on my YouTube, but on that journey, part of that journey, but I had just reached burnout. I was tired. And I was like, okay, I must be doing something like wrong or out of alignment things don't seem to have gone quite the way I had planned or expected or hoped. So I went on that journey thinking I was going to just find a new home. I was thinking that Florida was the problem. There's no place like home. Florida wasn't the problem. I was the problem, the way I was doing things, right? But nonetheless, I had a great time the first 3.5, close to 4 months. Right about 4 months, I started to hit the wall. I was like, I thought that I was going on a journey that I had asked God, how do I let you, how do I give my will to you here? How do I allow the divine to reveal its will for me? Which it really did. It's amazing, right? I wish I could break it down for you more clearly. I'm still unpacking some of it myself, but I guess I thought on that journey that I thought that I was looking for a new home, and I was asking God, source creator, the infinite, the all that is, to guide me and lead me to my next home. And in fact, really what it was about embracing and recognizing that every place is home and no place is perfect. And there's places I'll always find home wherever I am. I was always like that anyway, but I did hit the wall multiple times. There were times I hit the wall. By the end of the journey, I was so tired. I was so exhausted. I was so tired of traveling from Airbnb to Airbnb. Some of my so-called healer friends would be like, why'd you stay so long in that city? I was tired. I had to get work done. Well, you shouldn't have stayed so long. And then the same healer friends, sometimes they would be like, why didn't you stay longer? You needed more time there. Like, I wasn't getting like loving guidance. I was getting like this kind of highly critical, criticizing guidance. Like somehow you're traveling too heavy. You got too many things in your car. I was just like, this is really hard. And what I eventually realized was like, I've hit another wall of my own exhaustion. I had reached at one point Saratoga Springs, love it there. That could be a place I potentially live at some point. And I got there and I got a cold. Like I never get sick. Never. But I got a cold so bad because I heard my body was like, no more. We're not doing anymore. No more. So for like 5 days in Saratoga Springs, I had the most beautiful place on a lake. I just barely could do anything on the lake there. And I just basically slept. And during this sleeping, I just kept praying, please help me find my right place. The next place has to be the right place. I have to find the right place. And then basically while I was there, it's just this miracle happened. I found this place, which happens to be in Rhinebeck. I had seen it before, but I didn't think it was available. I didn't think it was available. I was like Airbnb-ing it. And then he just called me. He's like, hey, you want my place for month to month? And don't even worry about the money. Just come when you're ready. Don't worry about anything. I totally know this guy from another lifetime, by the way. As a side note. So I asked, like, how do I know this guy? Oh, it's from the lifetime you were in a circus. He was the circus owner. And you were just one of the people in his circus who was an animal trainer. I mean, when you meet somebody who's just so nice and so open-hearted, wants nothing, and just gives you their house and says, don't worry about any money. Don't even worry. We'll work it out. No problem. Like everything's no problem. No problem. Just come hang out. So nice. Like a house on his beautiful property overlooking the water. Absolutely gorgeous, right? I mean, small, cute, quaint, but So I told him that, and he thinks it's funny, right? Oh yeah, whatever. He likes it, but he's kind of dismissive of it, right? His own little cynic skeptic. He's like, well, how do we know each other? So I tell him the story about the carnival, and he laughs and he says, oh, my girlfriend, who I met her too. I love her. She's awesome. He said, she said we knew each other from a circus. I said, that's funny, isn't it? She's like, just how much can you dismiss that? Two different people got the same story that we knew each other in a circus. Like she was there too, right? She was like one of the tarot card readers or something. Anyway, I didn't ask about her, but I'm sure because I felt a strong connection with her right away too. This is what happens. So when you hit a wall, you hit your wall and you really know you're done. That's when the divine can step in. And the point of hitting a wall, in a way, is so that the human identity can reach a deeper, more unified connection with the source, creator, God, the divine. Because at the moment you've hit your wall and your human self is on the floor, can't go any further, can't do any more, has done the absolute best it can do. And you're like out of power, right? I mean, I can tell you another part of the journey that will make you laugh, I think. But okay, I'll tell you that in a minute. But when you hit the wall, at that point, that's when you're like, God, please help me. Please help me find the right place. Please help me. I got to stop traveling. I got to be done with this. Where do you want me? And that's when the people from other lifetimes who you somehow contracted with, somehow scripted into your life journey, you have some kind of sacred contracts with them, and suddenly they step forward. And you're like, who is this person who's being so good to me for no apparent reason and no particular benefit of their own? Like, who is this amazing, wonderful person? Like, who's so nice to me, who's so kind to me, right? And then somehow in the outbreath of, oh, thank you so much, that gratitude suddenly ripples out into your world, and all of these other benefits start to come to you, because now you've surrendered to the gratitude of the knowing that something greater than you has stepped in and somehow taken over while you were on the floor. While you were on the floor, blowing your nose, crying, or while you were on the floor with your cold, or you couldn't get out of bed, or whatever it was, right? So when you hit the floor, this is the thing. When you hit the wall, when you hit the floor, when you feel like you can't go any further, that is by design. It is designed to help you to get more connected, more unified with your source. Because you got to the point where your human free will is no longer in the driver's seat, in a sense. You still have free will. You could wake up the next day and try again, but you're breaking down, right? You've hit the wall, you've hit the floor. Because I know I did, right? So that happens to all of us. And when that happens, that's the time you get humble and you just ask for some kind of divine intervention. It's not begging. It's not pleading. Begging and pleading with God typically doesn't really work, because you're not really out of the energy of resistance, reaction. The energy of begging and pleading is still energetic entanglement, right? The fastest way to really allow the divine to come through is through zero resistance, zero struggle. And that includes not even begging or pleading. That just means I'm done. There's nothing in the doneness but doneness, emptiness. You're in that moment, you're like, I'm just done. I don't have the solution. I don't even know what it is, but it will show up. That's what to do when you really hit the wall, when you really hit the floor, when you're really done trying to put yourself in the driver's seat. I didn't even know that was the journey I was on. Like, I didn't know I was on the Wizard of Oz game. Like, there's no place like home. I just thought I was changing energy, moving, relocating. But it was turned out to be such a complete transformational healing journey for me. And on the other side, I'm like, I can go anywhere again, but I'm going to sit still for a little while just to be kind to myself. Because it wasn't really that kind to make me travel so much, 5 months, without ever really having a place to stay. And then having the voices that were coming at me from so-called healers around me saying, too much time there. Why are you trying to make it work there? If it's not working, move on. Why'd you have pack so heavy? Why'd you spend so much time? Why'd you spend too little time? Why'd you pack so much? Like, the voices of our shadows can be brutal, right? Those are the voices of the shadows. And sometimes we have to find within us that deeper sense of unity and self-love and self-care and self-nurturing. So after I hit the wall, And after I found the place, which was just like handed to me on a silver platter, that's when I was like, okay, I have to start picking up the pieces because I'm tired and exhausted and drained and depleted, and I can't keep this journey up the way I've been, and I can't rely. I didn't feel that I had friends that I wanted to burden them with my burdens. And so it became, all right, God, what do I do? What's next? What do I do? What's next? What's your will for me? And then it became, what 1, 2, or 3 little things can I do right now to pick myself up off the floor and to start improving how I feel about life again? So those things I'll say, I carry a foldable trampoline. That was one of the things. Some of the people go, what do you need a foldable trampoline? Well, it makes me happy to jump on the trampoline. Anyway, that was one of the things. I was like, I'm unfolding it now that I'm in a place I can stay, and I'm going to start jumping. I'm going to start doing yoga practice again. One of the hardest things was to have green juices. Find green juices on the road. Oh my God. Like, what is it? Nobody drinks green juice? I'm like a green juiceaholic. Celery, cucumber, parsley. I mean, those are the main ones I love. But you can have you can put any kind of green in there, make a green juice. It's so good for you. The body loves it. Man, it was really hard to find those on the road. Sometimes I drive 30 or 40 minutes just to try to find a green juice. But anyway, so that was one of the things. Oh, I can make my own green juice again because now my juicer, because it's kind of a production, it takes an hour just to make a juicer, and then you got to wash it. It's hard to do it on the road. So I'm like, going to be so happy to have juice again every day. Yeah, so there was all the little things. What are the little things you need to do when you hit the wall? The littlest, most easiest things to pick yourself up when you've hit the wall, when you've hit the floor. Another one was, I'm just going to sleep as long and deep as I possibly can. I have gotten the best sleep in years since I've been here. First of all, the house that I'm in is completely surrounded by woods and trees. I'm only 15 minutes from, the city of Rhinebeck, 15 minutes from all the little towns around, but I am surrounded by trees and nature and very little traffic noise. So no houses, really. I mean, there's houses, but they're all trees between us. So I've been getting better, deeper sleep, but I put blackout curtains. Like, that was one of the things. I've just let myself sleep. And these days I wake up every morning to the energy. Oh my God, it feels so good to wake up to the energy of like divine peace. These are the energies in my core frequency. I teach other people how to activate and energize the energies they want. But my core frequency includes divine peace, divine love, divine joy, divine kindness, divine loving kindness. I had to reactivate a lot of that since I got still and grounded. And, I'm waking up every morning to those energies, and I'm just like blissed out in those energies. So good. You just lay there for the longest time, just letting the energies reinfuse me, reinvigorate me, heal me, and restore me to my ideal and optimal state, which we can all do this. Everyone can learn how, right? I teach it in all my stuff, all my meditations, all my classes, all my workshops. People are learning this stuff. Amazing. And they're having amazing, miraculous results, right? Because this is the energy of working with the divine. Like, this isn't mindset shifting, although I love that stuff too. What do you do when you're so low and so tired and so drained and so depleted? You've hit the wall, or you've hit the floor, or you've hit rock bottom. Little teeny things to restore you. What are the things? For me, it was the trampoline, yoga, green juice, sleeping in, sleeping late, working with energy healing again, being still, being quiet. I really needed to stop traveling and sit still. Right before I got this house, one of the things that was coming in was like, be still and allow. Be still and allow. And when that was happening, I was like, wow, this is so good. That's when all these miracles started happening for me. In addition to finding the house and the home, and that guy was just so awesome to me. I mean, I guess he's my landlord, you could call him now, even though, it's a short-term rental because I didn't want to sign it. I realized I don't want to sign a lease. But after that, then the amazing things, I got this donation for my car. I had to buy my car and someone just gave me a donation so I could just buy it outright. It was so awesome, right? Because like for whatever reason, these tariffs is supposed to, I don't know. It was like I was just being taken care of in so many ways. Then some new amazing people came into our Sacred Visionary Mentorship program. Oh, so wonderful. I started asking, something you can do if you have a business program. You start asking for the clients or students who are going to really, truly love and enjoy and greatly benefit from your program. That's all I ever ask for now. I just want the ones who are really, truly going to benefit and really enjoy and appreciate it. Because I know what I'm delivering is next level. Like, I know it's off the charts. I know it's taken me a lifetime, countless others, to learn and master what I teach and share. I know it's totally next level. And those people have such close interaction with me. Like, we're very intimate and close in the Sacred Visionary. And there's so much deep level work. And that's not available out there. Not the kind of level of what I'm bringing through, what I'm offering, and what they're getting. And so I'm just so now cautious in a way. Like, I just only want the people who are really in vibrational harmony with receiving this, that will love and enjoy and appreciate it. And to me, that's how you call forward your community. That's something you can all do. That's really good when you've hit the floor. You only want really that which is right for you, for your best, and for the best of all concerned. Like, that's a way to start picking up the pieces. What's really, truly for your most benevolent best? You start asking that question. What is really for my most benevolent best? And that will always mean with harm to none. That will always mean that. And then start expressing, of course, playing with the energy of gratitude. Because once I got the house and then the car thing happened, and then 2 other new clients, students came into the circle who were just so amazing and wonderful. And then I got invited to be on, there were some podcasts that I have wanted to be on for the longest time, and I got letters and invited to be on them. And then I got invited to speak, of all places, in Florida at a conference where, I get to be compensated for my time, my energy, my expertise there, financially compensated. There were just all these things that just fell into place just by me saying, all right, God, what is your will? What is it? What is your will? I'm done. I've hit the floor. I'm done. I'm not asking anyone. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to sit here. And in combination with that, there was the gratitude, like, oh my God, I'm just so grateful for this house, this person who's been so kind to me, who just let me come stay in his house and didn't ask anything, want anything, need anything. Like, what is going on? I'm so grateful. And that gratitude started to ripple out. And that is true, really. Gratitude opens doors, swings through dimensions. So really start working with the energy of gratitude, and you can breathe it in, like just call forward that energy of divine gratitude and invite gratitude into your life and start feeling gratitude for whatever it is. I was really, truly grateful for this man and for the home to just stop traveling, to sit still. It was this beautiful home. I was so grateful, and it was just natural, right? It was a natural, authentic kind of gratitude that then rippled out to other things that gave me even more reason to be grateful, more things to be grateful for. But here's the thing. Here's what I know. When you've hit the floor, when you've hit the wall, when you're just exhausted, and you don't necessarily have to have gone on a 5-month travel journey. It could be for anything, challenging clients, challenging situations in life, difficult traumas, upsets to overcome, relationship difficulties. It doesn't matter, whatever it is, financial challenges, hurdles, obstacles, because everybody goes through them. There's nobody that doesn't. Know this, it is your choice. It is your choice to finally sort of surrender to the divine and say, what is your will for me? Just please take over. It's also your choice to say, I'm choosing to be happy, or I'm choosing to be grateful, or I'm choosing to see what's good and right about this. I'm choosing to see how this situation scenario will help me grow or become something greater version of myself. I'm choosing. You have free will choice. I'm choosing to feel better no matter what. I'm choosing to heal and resolve these issues, to forgive whatever may need forgiveness. I'm choosing it. So you get to choose. You can choose to be and feel blessed. You can say it, I'm blessed. Look today, right now in your life, where are you blessed? Where are the blessings in your life? You wouldn't be here listening to me on some form of advanced technology if you weren't blessed in some way. You have a computer, you have ears to hear, eyes to see. I know that might seem trivial, but really, you are blessed. You have blessings in your life. I mean, maybe you have a husband or a spouse, a wife, a partner. Maybe you have a best friend. Do you know how blessed you are to have that? I don't have a best friend. I always wanted a best friend. I don't really have that. When you walk a path like this, a lot of times there's a lot of solitude. A lot of star seeds and light workers have walked a path of solitude because there's a lot of growth in a solitary path, but it can be quite lonely sometimes. I'm sure a lot of you know that, right? But where are you blessed? Hey, do you have a family? I have a family. Thank God I have a family. And as flawed and challenged as sometimes they are, they do love me in the ways that they know how to love. I'm blessed. How are you blessed? Do you have a dog or a cat, an animal who you love, an animal companion? Oh my God, I'm so blessed with my animal. I love her so much. She brings so much joy and love and happiness into my life. She's kept me company. There were times when I really needed a kiss or a hug, and the dog gave it to me. You know, my dog actually hugs me. She puts her arms up over my neck. She hugs people. I'm so blessed. The more you say that, and when you start to say, really mean it, I have so much to be grateful for. I want you to count your blessings right now and what you have to be grateful for. Because this is what you do when you hit the wall, when you hit the floor. You really start to say, what are these blessings? And it's not because you're searching. It's because you start to realize, like, I am blessed. I have a roof over my head. I have a car. I have advanced technologies. I have a computer. I have friends who care about me. I have incredible courage and strength. I've been alive this long. I've made contribution in the world. Here's how. I'm kind. I offer kindness in the world. I'm encouraging in an authentic way. Like, what are all the wonderful things about you that make you a blessing and that bless you? All those qualities you've developed. You're forgiving, you're understanding, you're giving, you're sharing, you're generous. What are all those qualities that make you blessed with those qualities? You're blessed with those qualities that you embody, that you share. And what are all those things you're grateful for? I'm so grateful for all that I have. That was really where it started. I just started saying that. I'm so grateful for all that I have. I'm so grateful for all that is on its way to me now. I say that all the time. I encourage you to start saying it too, because when you start saying you're grateful for all that you have and you're so grateful for everything that is good that is on its way to you now, good comes, more good comes. Oh my goodness, so true. It's so true. I'm so grateful for the kindness in my life and for the kindness that has shown up. I'm so grateful for the money that I have and the money that has shown up and continues to show up because, yeah, I mean, money is a blessing in this life. And being fortunate to have money in a world where you need money, that's a blessing. Thank God. God is infinitely prosperous. I got to do an episode on this. God is infinitely prosperous. It's us who blocks us from the prosperity that's available, from the abundance that's available. It's infinitely present and available, but we're the ones that limit or restrict ourselves. And it's when we open up and say, okay, what do you have for me, God? What do you want for me? What is your will for me? What will you desire for me that you are willing to bring forward to me for me so that I can be who I'm meant to be and share what I'm meant to share. You start asking those questions and just letting the divine reveal itself. That is what to do when you hit the wall. And that can only come with a kind of a humility, a surrendering, a giving up, but it's a giving in, but it's not a total giving up. It's like a letting go. It's not like you're just saying, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. What is your will for me? And then little teeny pieces of what you know you can do to pick up the pieces, be it changing diet, food, what you listen to. There were some podcasts I listened to that were just really helpful to me. Because, my brain was like, I'm tired. How am I going to go on? I don't know where I'm supposed to live. I could travel endlessly and never find my home. And I just knew it was time to stop. And just everything started to come together. So when you reach the wall or hit a wall and it's time for you to stop, this is where I'm saying, where you begin. The smallest bits of gratitude, energy of gratitude, and the little things you can do to start taking care of yourself. And don't forget to be kind to yourself, because if the voices around you are not being kind, that's a calling to speak to yourself with more kindness. Maybe even do a little mirror work. High five yourself in the mirror. That stuff really works, Activates some of the dopamine in the brain that makes you happy. The serotonin in the brain. A little exercise, a little movement, whatever that might be. Foods that make you feel good, not because they're sugar addictions or alcohol addictions, but because they're really, the body says, yes, thank you for that. I'm nourished. You know what those things are. Kind talk, kind voices, kind messages. Be kind to yourself when you've hit a wall. And then call upon the divinity within you. Don't let organized religion, or I don't even mean to poo-poo on organized religion, but don't let the parts of you that may have been or felt abandoned or separated or lost faith or lost trust in God, source creator, or that maybe somewhere that you were a skeptic or a cynic or a doubter. Don't let that stand in the way of you getting the amazing and miraculous benefits from working with a higher or greater power that is available to you when you decide to let it in. Because if you've hit the wall, like I had hit the wall, many times I had hit the wall, hit the floor, you know that that's the time when the divine will really come in and show you and reveal to you its magnificence, that you will be astounded at how many wonderful things can happen in almost no time at all, because you finally said, I want to get out of this way, of my own way, and allow the divine to reveal itself to me in the most beautiful, joyful, miraculous, and amazing ways. And yeah, I was asking for that. I was like, show me, God, what is it that you desire? What is so wonderful that you can reveal to me, are willing to reveal to me, are willing to provide to me, that is joyful with harm to none? Start asking that. And really from a place of humility and sincerely just asking, inquiring, and recognizing at the same time that you are blessed. You already are blessed. You wouldn't be here if you weren't blessed. You wouldn't even be listening to me or watching me now if you weren't blessed in some way. You wouldn't even have a body, let alone, a home to live in, or a car to drive in, or people who love you, or whatever it is, a pet that loves you, an animal companion, whatever it is, where you, in whatever ways you are blessed. Count your blessings, be grateful for them, and then ask what else is there, not from a place of lack or longing or missing, but rather from a place of humility and inquiry, and asking the divine to reveal itself. And then take little teeny steps to pick yourself up, whatever those are, by taking the next right appropriate action. All right, I hope this has been helpful, especially for those of you out there who have hit the wall at some time or another, or hit the floor, as I know I did when I was really exhausted and done. Yeah, hopefully this is helpful to you. And I want to hear from you. Let me know. Let me know about your experiences hitting the wall, what you've done, and certainly let me know what else you want to hear about, learn about, and so I can share about that in future episodes. In the meantime, I'm going to sign off for now. I'm sending you so much love, and I am always truly wishing you your most benevolent best. All right, farewell for now. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for listening today. If you loved the show and if you benefited in any way, if it helped you to up-level or expand your consciousness, if you gained any new insights or ideas, if it made you think or become more aware, or if there were some strategies or intuition that you may have benefited from in any way, would you please do me 2 easy and simple favors? First, if you would be willing to leave a review, it would mean the world to me. I'd be so grateful. And second, if you're willing to share this show with anyone else who would benefit, you can either post it on your social media or just email it to someone and share it with another person or any other people. It would be so awesome. This kind of thing is so helpful in expanding consciousness on the planet and helping others to benefit from this kind of teaching, which just simply isn't generally readily available in the mainstream. So sharing it really helps others benefit and helps our planet evolve and awaken. Plus, expressing gratitude and generosity in this way will also expand your capacity to give and receive even more. Either way, I just want to say thank you so much for being here and for participating and for sharing, and overall, just for being the magnificent, the spectacular, the brilliant, the fabulous, the wonderful you that you truly are, and for allowing yourself to be the very best version of you today and every day. All my love and gratitude to you.